If you're flying through Europe anytime soon, this video could save your entire trip. Remember when flying through Europe felt effortless? You'd move through the terminal, grab a coffee, and still reach your gate with time to spare. Those days are disappearing fast. At some European airports today, delay rates have exploded so badly that a simple weekend getaway can unravel before you even clear security. And here's what most travelers don't realize. This isn't bad luck. Not all European airports fail the same way. Some of the most famous hubs quietly cause more missed connections, lost luggage, and ruined itineraries than almost anywhere else in the world. The difference isn't the city, it's capacity pressure, labor risk, outdated layouts, and how an airport collapses when something small goes wrong. Right now, several major European airports are operating so close to their breaking point that a minor delay, a short strike, or one weather hiccup can spiral into hours of chaos. And the worst part? These failures are predictable if you know what to look for. In this video, we're ranking the European airports you should avoid at all costs, based on chronic delays, strike frequency, transfer nightmares, and real passenger patterns. We'll also reveal a few airports that consistently stay calm when others fall apart, and show you how to spot a high-risk airport before you even book your ticket. Because when a European airport goes bad, it doesn't just delay your flight, it can erase an entire vacation. Let's start with an airport millions rely on for smooth connections, yet regularly delivers endless queues, missed flights, and frustration instead. You might already know which one it is. How this ranking was built. This ranking is not based on a single bad experience or personal preference. It's built from consistent patterns that repeat year after year. Several factors were considered together, not in isolation. First, chronic delay rates and how often missed connections occur during normal operations, not just during extreme weather. Second, airport layout and transfer efficiency, including walking distances, terminal changes, and signage clarity. Staffing reliability also matters. Airports with frequent strike exposure or thin operational margins behave very differently under pressure. Runway count and surrounding airspace were evaluated as well. Airports operating at or near maximum capacity leave no room for recovery when something slips. Finally, passenger reports were examined for consistency, not emotional outbursts, but recurring themes that appear across seasons and airlines. When the same problems show up repeatedly, that's not coincidence. It's structure. With that context, let's begin where the risk is highest. Category 1. Avoid at all costs. Number 15. London Heathrow, LHR. Heathrow looks unbeatable on paper. Global connections, premium lounges, and constant frequency. That's exactly the problem. The airport operates at the edge of its capacity almost every day. When even a minor disruption occurs, late inbound aircraft, weather, airspace restrictions, the system has no buffer. Delays cascade quickly. Transfers demand long walks, terminal changes, and security rescreening that can overwhelm even experienced travelers. Peak hours amplify everything. Crowds thicken, security bottlenecks form, and recovery becomes nearly impossible. Heathrow collapses fastest during afternoon and early evening waves, when long-haul and short-haul traffic collide. Travelers with tight connections, mobility concerns, or limited energy are most at risk here. Heathrow isn't chaotic by accident. It's overfilled by design. Rhetorical cue, a machine that runs perfectly until it doesn't. Number 14. Paris Charles de Gaulle. CDG is notorious for confusion. Circular terminals, uneven signage, shuttle transfers, and sudden gate changes create a maze effect that punishes tight connections. Even when flights are on time, movement inside the airport is slow and unpredictable. Security procedures vary by terminal, adding friction. CDG collapses fastest when connections dip below 2 hours, especially during morning arrivals feeding afternoon departures. Seniors and families feel this most, as long corridors and escalator-heavy routes demand speed. Improvements have helped at the margins, but the core layout remains difficult. Rhetorical cue, an airport that feels like it was designed in pieces. Number 13. Athens International. Athens becomes a choke point during peak season. It's the gateway to the Greek islands, cruise traffic and summer tourism all converging at once. Security lanes bottleneck, check-in areas swell, and airspace constraints over the Aegean ripple delays back through the schedule. A TH collapses fastest in late spring through summer afternoons, when island departures surge. Connections can evaporate quickly. While staff work hard and the layout is learnable, density overwhelms the system. Travelers counting on quick transfers or calm boarding should think carefully. Rhetorical cue: paradise traffic funneled through one door. Number 12, Lisbon. Lisbon's beauty hides a structural trap. The airport is boxed in by the city, limiting expansion. Inside, space feels rationed. Midday and afternoon, crowds compress walkways, security coils outward, and seating vanishes. Runway operations leave little flexibility. Atlantic weather or crosswinds can freeze departures. LIS collapses fastest from mid-afternoon to evening, when delays stack with no release valve. Seniors and travelers with limited stamina feel the squeeze most. Mornings are manageable, later hours are not. Rhetorical cue: a charming city with an airport that can't breathe. Number 11, Brussels. Brussels is quietly unpredictable. Strike exposure is high, and when labor pauses, the entire operation stalls. Even on normal days, small disruptions escalate quickly. When BRU collapses, it does so completely. Cancellations spread, lines freeze, and recovery is slow. Travelers relying on same-day connections or tight timelines are most vulnerable. Rhetorical cue: an airport that looks calm, until it suddenly isn't. Category 2, high risk but manageable. Number 10, Dublin. Dublin's biggest challenge is timing. Early mornings are the danger zone. Large waves of departures leave within a short window, overwhelming security and check-in almost instantly. The airport itself isn't poorly run. It's undersized for the volume it now handles. During peak hours, lines form faster than staff can absorb them, and movement slows to a shuffle. Dub becomes manageable later in the day, but optimism in the early morning often leads to stress. Travelers who arrive very early and avoid tight connections generally do fine. Key idea: at Dublin, timing matters more than the airport itself. Number 9, Geneva. Geneva operates under constant pressure. A single runway handles a surprisingly large mix of diplomats, business travelers, skiers, and tourists. Precision is essential and fragile. When conditions are ideal, GVA works smoothly. When weather, VIP movements, or seasonal surges intervene, delays ripple quickly. Ski season is the breaking point, with oversized luggage and charter traffic compressing space. Geneva isn't chaotic, but it's compressed. Travelers with flexible schedules do well. Those with tight margins should be cautious. Key idea: too much demand in too little space. Number 8, Manchester. Manchester is an airport in transition. Newer terminal sections feel modern and spacious, while older areas remain narrow and congested. Morning departure waves hit the legacy terminals hardest, creating uneven experiences depending on airline and gate. The airport isn't failing, it's uneven. Travelers who know their terminal and allow extra time often pass through without issue. Those expecting consistency across the airport may be surprised. Key idea: part future hub, part past design. Number 7, Berlin-Brandenburg. Despite its infamous history, BER is functional, but brittle. The layout is logical, signage is clear, and movement generally makes sense. The issue arises at peak times, when passenger volume fills the terminal faster than expected. Queues expand suddenly, and the airport's calm atmosphere gives way to slow compression. BER works best outside rush hours and punishes tight schedules. Key idea: better than its reputation, but still capacity sensitive. Number 6, Barcelona El Prat. Barcelona handles tourism in powerful waves. When those waves overlap, security lines and gate areas fill rapidly. The airport is intuitive and bright, which helps, but volume is relentless. BCN struggles most during peak holiday seasons and midday overlaps. It remains usable with planning, but travelers should expect density rather than disorder. Key idea: orderly design fighting overwhelming volume. Category 3: reliable and safer options. Number 5. Rome Fiumicino. Fiumicino has invested heavily in modernization, and it shows. Terminals are brighter, signage is clearer, and passenger flow has improved. The airport still struggles during heavy long-haul arrival waves, particularly with baggage handling, but overall resilience is stronger than many southern European hubs. It's best suited for travelers beginning or ending trips rather than tight connections. Strength: momentum and visible improvement. Number 4. Frankfurt. Frankfurt is massive, efficient, and demanding. When the system is balanced, it moves astonishing volumes smoothly. The challenge is distance. Long walks and frequent gate changes require energy and awareness. FRA performs well for experienced travelers who plan buffer time. It's reliable, but not gentle. Strength: industrial scale precision. Number 3. Zurich. Zurich is disciplined and orderly. Strict noise curfews and precise scheduling create predictability, but also fragility when disruptions occur. Most days, ZRH feels effortless, with short connections and clean design. It's ideal for travelers who value structure and clarity. Strength: precision over improvisation. Number 2. Amsterdam Schiphol. Schiphol's single-terminal concept simplifies transfers and navigation. While staffing shortages have strained operations in recent years, recovery has been steady. Peak afternoon waves still compress space, but the layout absorbs pressure better than most hubs. Strength: smart design that scales. Number 1 airport in Europe, the gold standard airport, Munich. Munich consistently outperforms other major European airports for one simple reason. It was designed for flow, not improvisation. From the moment travelers enter the terminal, the difference is noticeable. Wide concourses reduce crowd pressure. Sightlines are clear. Signage is intuitive without being overwhelming. Movement feels natural, even during busy periods. The airport doesn't rely on last-minute fixes. It relies on planning. What truly sets Munich apart is predictability. Operations here run with disciplined timing. Turnarounds are smooth. Security and passport control scale efficiently during peak hours. And unlike many European hubs, Munich handles winter weather with confidence. Snowfall that would cripple other airports is treated as routine here, not an emergency. There's also space, physical and psychological. Travelers aren't constantly compressed into bottlenecks. Seating is available. Transfers feel achievable without sprinting. For older travelers, families, and anyone managing fatigue, that breathing room matters. Munich doesn't try to impress with spectacle. It succeeds by removing friction. When delays happen, and they do everywhere, Munich absorbs them without collapse. Flights recover. Connections remain realistic. The system bends instead of breaking. That consistency is why Munich stands at the top of this list. Not because it's perfect, but because it reliably delivers what travelers want most: calm, clarity, and control. How to spot a bad airport before you book. The good news is that you don't need insider access to avoid problem airports. The warning signs are usually visible long before you buy a ticket, if you know what to look for. Start with delay patterns by hour, not by day. Some airports look fine on average, but collapse at the same times every day. Morning departure waves, late afternoon long-haul banks, or evening curfews reveal chronic stress points. Repeated delays at the same hours are structural, not accidental. Next, compare runway count to passenger volume. Airports handling massive traffic with 1 or 2 runways operate with no margin for error. One late arrival can distort the entire schedule. Be cautious with expansion promises. If an airport has been planning a new terminal or runway for years without visible progress, current congestion is likely permanent. Passenger reports also matter, but only the consistent ones. Ignore one-off complaints and look for repeated mentions of the same issues. slow security, missed connections, long walks, or baggage delays. Finally, watch how an airport handles disruption. Strong airports bend and recover. Weak ones freeze. If minor weather, staffing issues, or strikes regularly shut everything down, that's your answer. These principles apply worldwide, not just in Europe. It's not bad luck, it's infrastructure. When a trip falls apart at the airport, it often feels personal, like the wrong flight was chosen or timing just didn't work out. In reality, most airport failures are predictable. Airports don't struggle randomly. They fail where space is limited, staffing is thin, airspace is crowded, or growth has outpaced design. Once you recognize those patterns, outcomes become far less mysterious. That's why smart routing matters more than optimism. Choosing the right connection point can save hours of stress, physical exhaustion, and missed plans, especially on long journeys. Planning isn't about controlling everything. It's about avoiding environments where small problems turn into big ones. One airport decision can protect an entire trip. When you understand how airports behave under pressure, you stop relying on luck and start traveling with intention. Final thoughts. Now it's your turn. Which airport on this list surprised you the most, and which one matched your experience exactly? Your insight may help someone else make a smarter choice before they book. If there's a European airport you think should be analyzed next, share it in the comments. Patterns emerge fastest when travelers compare notes. If this breakdown helped you understand why some trips feel smooth and others fall apart, consider subscribing. Smart routing saves time, energy, and peace of mind. Travel well and choose your airports as carefully as you choose your destination.